I have used the Integrative Enneagram reports extensively over the last 3 years, and I have found them really wonderful in digging down into the depth and the challenges and the blind spots, and assisting me as the coach and my client as to what do we want to work on, what are the development areas that we want to work on, what are the nuances that perhaps we're missing in the coaching that would help them be a better leader and manager. Part of the report also deals with stress and strain, and that marries very nicely into the coaching as well, because there will be issues perhaps happening in the personal life or happening in the environment, or perhaps even in the workplace, that pinpoint what we can do from a stress point of view and what we can help, how I can help the client deal with the stress that's coming up in their life.
We found that actually having the IEQ specifically helps us probably manage on 3 or 4 sessions with the client. What would have taken us 3 or 4 sessions to get to that point, we're already at when we start with clients. And I think it brings a lot of respect and professionalism as you enter the client space using it.
Yeah, I think the depth of the report is absolutely amazing. So it really allows you to get quite quickly into real issues with coaching. And I did find with other tools, you can sometimes stay on the surface for quite a while before people are ready to look quite deeply. And also the team report has for us been a great way to interact with teams. So to how to bring the individual together, and what does that look like in a team, what the dynamics are in a team. And teams respond really well to that. And we've seen some real performance changes in teams using the Enneagram.
Also, having the full report, the professional report, clients are even starting to come to us and say, we haven't even started the communication piece, or we haven't done the decision-making piece. Here's an opportunity where we already know what people's styles are. Let's use that in one of the workshops. So it again goes back to the building an iterative process with clients and having a relationship with them for a long time.
Before this training, in my practice, I did one-to-one interviews. Before, about probably 80% of my team building or team transformation training. So obviously that is a lot of time and a lot of energy. I worked for a couple of large global companies, and I felt that I was being asked to travel to other parts of the world, but I felt like I didn't have the right tools to make that process happen as efficiently and as effectively to give them the Enneagram. So to me, this is incredibly exciting. I do think there's a place for the one-to-one interview. I am hoping that I will use that now as the debrief, because I do love the one-to-one connection, but I love having this data. And I was overwhelmed by the accuracy and the complexity. And what I love the most as a 7 is seeing all of this as options.
So previously in working with the Enneagram, I mainly used the narrative approach of interviewing the client or the individual to help them determine and come to their type or their style on the Enneagram. And this was mainly because I found some of the assessments not to be as accurate and as descriptive of the individual. And then I came across the Integrative Enneagram assessment tool, which has really converted me from not believing in assessments to actually really feeling that it's a robust tool that helps and understand the client, and it's incredibly accurate in discovering the type of the individual. What I really also appreciate about the reports from Integrative is the multiple layered feedback report that clients get, really looking at all the various complexities within the Enneagram and the different flavors of the types being flavored by the subtypes, by their wings and the arrows for movement. Because the Enneagram is such a rich and complex tool, the reports of Integrative really gives you a good understanding of that, and the fact that it's not static and that there's developmental pathways and movement within that. and I find that incredibly useful in working with my clients. The other aspect that I also find quite useful is that often when we're working with clients and they don't really have such a strong sense of their type or who they are, they may not have previously done a lot of personal development work, it's really like they feel like they've come home when they identify their type. And with clients who hasn't necessarily done so much reflection on their personality, this really helps them to find that and work through that in a very open, non-judgmental and appreciative way and manner.